this year?
Hi, I'm Shauna Phillips. I am the Event Experience Chair for Relay at Home in Kingston, Ontario.
I'm Kelly Merrithew, the Senior Manager for Community in Kingston, Frontenac, Lennox, and Addington, and the Waterways.
Okay, welcome everybody. Thanks for joining us today. I just wanted to just update the Kingston community on the Relay for Life event coming up in June. It's online, obviously now with everything locked down, and I just want to get maybe get you, Kelly, just maybe comment on the event in general and what time and probably.
Right, actually, I'm going to throw it over to our event experience chair this year, Shauna Phillips. She can tell us all about the details, and then maybe we can come back to me and I can talk about things like, are people still supporting the event? What's going on at CCS these days? Do some kind of updates like that. So take it away, Shauna.
Okay, so Relay for Life, I'll just give a quick overview here. Relay at Home is our reimagined version of our Relay for Life event, but adjusted for our current reality. So Relay for Life is a huge event every year in the cancer community. It is hundreds of people together at hundreds of locations all across the country. And obviously that's not something that we can do right now safely. So this is kind of our version of Relay for Life, but bringing it home. So it is virtual, it is fun, it is interactive, it is a way for the cancer community to connect with each other and to, honor our survivors and celebrate them, to remember those that we've lost to cancer, and to have a great time, maybe raise a little bit of money for our support programs and things like that. So it's a very different sort of setup than we usually see, but at the same time, there's a lot of the kind of hallmark pieces that we're going to still see. So we're still going to have an opening ceremony. We're still going to have a closing ceremony. We're still going to have survivor speakers and musical guests and a whole lot of interactive fun. It'll just be at home instead of in a large crowd. And so in terms of details of, time and date and everything, it will be June 13th, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern time. It can be live streamed in either French or English. And I think it can be found on the YouTube channel, through the Relay Facebook page. And I don't think it's available on Instagram. But Kelly, maybe you can...
Yeah, no, so not on Instagram, but if you just go to relayforlife.ca, that's where you can sign up for free ahead of the event, but there will be links there that you can choose from that will take you right to whatever platform, or even view it on the website and join in that way. So it is a one-day national relay event. Obviously, COVID-19, like I've been saying to people, had other plans for all of us this year to meet in person. So very disappointing, especially, we've been doing it for 21 years in the Kingston community and in Canada. And people kind of look forward to this as their kickoff to summer and coming together in their community and showing support for those who are facing or living with or living through or moving past their cancer, or, for people that their lives have been affected by cancer. They might not necessarily have their own experience directly, but maybe a loved one has been affected by it. So it's a good thing that we're kind of doing this year. And obviously a lot of organizations, a lot of businesses have had to pivot really quickly to try and continue what they work hard for every day for the Cancer Society. It's making sure that we focus on our mission every day, which is primarily helping people that are affected by cancer in this country. And our hope is one day that we'll eradicate it, and that no Canadian will have to fear cancer when they hear that word. So in order to honor our commitment to physical distancing because of COVID-19, like Shauna said, this is why we're moving to the virtual platform. And really, it gives people who support Relay every year a really great chance to continue to do it, and then they'll do it from the comfort and safety of their own homes. So all of our in-person events at the Canadian Cancer Society across the country have been canceled up to September 30th, maybe a little bit beyond. We'll see how public health and safety goes around that time. So it's kind of sad, and we've seen, because of that, significant drops in revenue and donations since it began. But cancer also doesn't stop because of COVID. And somebody who kind of knows that story pretty well is our community champion, Bria. Bria has agreed to volunteer her story and telling it, because she's still a young age, but still had to deal with her cancer treatments as COVID was starting. And she actually, I'll let her tell the story, but it's pretty inspiring. And so I want to introduce Bria, who's a local Kingstonian. Bria, maybe you can just introduce yourself and then kind of let us know maybe what the story was from the beginning, and then we can maybe talk a bit more about how you felt when we were going through all this COVID business and you still had to get treatments.
Okay, so hi, my name's Bria. I'm 13 years old, and in October 2018, I was having a little bit of trouble seeing the board at school. So my mom took me to an eye exam, and the eye doctor noticed that there's something wrong. So she told us to go to our local hospital, and the next day they referred me to CHEO. And then the doctors at CHEO saw that I had a brain tumor, so I needed surgery, but they couldn't remove any of it because it was near my brainstem. And then they told us that I had to undergo 70 chemo treatments, and yeah, I've been doing those ever since, and I've been driving to Ottawa every Friday for chemo at CHEO, and I finished April 9th, 2020.
So that's pretty amazing. And it took a long time, like it was over about a year or 70 weeks or so, wasn't it? Yeah, so I mean, that takes its toll. And I think you also, I mean, you underwent surgery and stuff too, but everything so far so good. How did you feel when you had to go to CHEO when the pandemic started?
It wasn't too different, because we would still just go to Ottawa and do my chemo, but in Ottawa we would have to get like our temperature taken, so that was very different because that doesn't usually happen. And yeah, it was pretty much the same because I still had to do my chemo and everything.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a prime example of, you know, people that are facing cancer, going through treatments. It still had to continue, so it didn't matter, right? But sounds like you put on a pretty brave face throughout this all, so we're so happy that you can be with us to share your story today for sure. Maybe tell us a bit, Bria, about how you got involved with Relay for Life last year.
Okay, so I did my first relay last year, and I didn't realize how important the Canadian Cancer Society was until I did relay and realized how much they help with finding a cure for cancer. And since my tumor doesn't have a cure right now because it's still in my brain and everything, yeah, it's just very important for us to help out with everything.
Yeah, and you have a pretty strong support network too, right? You had your family there. Can you tell us who was there to help you celebrate your survivorship last year?
My parents, my brother, my uncle and aunt, and a few of our family friends were there.
Yeah, I remember seeing Team Bria there with your gray t-shirts and your hot pink Mickey logo. So that was pretty fun. And you got to do something special to open the Survivor Lab. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I got to cut the ribbon for the Survivor's Lab.
Yeah, so you let it all off. It was really great. And our survivors are typically led around the track by a piper from the Rob Roy Pipe Band. And so this year, when survivors are logging on, if you sign up, you do get a participant package, and it shows you all of the things that you can do to show that you're a survivor. Wear a past survivor shirt, just show your yellow. Maybe it's a bow in your hair, not specifically to Bria, but it could be anyone. Maybe there's a badge that you get in your participant package you can print off and cut out and pin to your shirts. And then we're encouraging everybody to go to our Relay at Home Canada page on Facebook and post with the hashtag Relay at Home. Just show us your pictures, because for sure this year we're going to miss seeing all the sea of yellow, as we call it, that walks around the track, and seeing all of our survivors in person this year. So I think it's still pretty important that we can come together as a community and show that we do support those people who are dealing with their cancer or life after cancer. Bria, did you have some good news recently about the MRI that you wanted to share?
Yeah, so I had an MRI about 2 weeks ago, and it came back good. My tumor hadn't grown at all.
Awesome. That's such good news. I saw that your mom is really good about posting stuff, and I saw that online. I was so happy to hear that and see that. So this is the power of what the CCS does sometimes. We raise money for research, but that doesn't necessarily mean a research for the cure. It could also mean research for better treatments and helping people through their cancer. We raise money for information and support services. So right now there's probably just under a 40% uptake in call volume to our cancer information helpline. So having that helpline is really important for people sometimes who might not have a network or who just don't want to burden their family and friends anymore. And so they call for help. But those specialists on that helpline also can talk to you about your diagnostics, what your doctors talk to you about, the type of cancer you have, and provide links for other support services. And right now we have a cancerconnection.ca virtual platform. It's like an online chat forum that's moderated by the CCS. And it's for people to come together across Canada to share their stories and find support with people that are going through similar situations. And we're so happy that we had that in place at this particular time of the pandemic, so that people can still access those support services, because sometimes people are feeling much more isolated right now or might not have that network. And then the last thing that we do is we advocate to government so that we make healthier public policy for more Canadians, like plain packaged cigarette packaging, no smoking in public places, no tanning beds for people under the years of 18 years or younger. And that's just to be preventative. That's just to help Canadians maintain a healthier lifestyle. So all of that's where the donations go. And that's why we Relay. Relay is a support for all of those things that we prioritize as an organization. And I'm talking a lot, but David wanted me to just touch on, like, are people still giving right now? Because obviously COVID has financially impacted not just businesses and organizations like ours, but also individuals. And it's a little hard on families now. So that's why we're also happy that the virtual event on June 13th will be free. So if you sign up and you get your participant package, there is no fee for anybody. And then additionally, we're not setting a minimum fundraising, but people are still donating. So in just one day, I'm going to read off some facts right now. Since before May 1st, we had raised about $2.2 million for Relay for Life community, as well as Relay for Life youth, which is all of our secondary and post-secondary participants. Since May 1st, we've raised an additional just over $400,000, which is almost $500,000, which is remarkable. Our goal this year is to raise 3.8. So at this point, we're just over 2.7 million raised. So we have just $1 million to go. And if we look at what we did in the last 4-ish weeks, I think we're going to be in good shape to be pretty close or get that target. In just 2 days this week, we raised $27,000, and we increased participant signups by 153. So it does show that people who either are affiliated to Relay or affiliated to somebody like Bria, who it might be her family members, it might be her friends who want to support her, they still will do that. If people have the means to give and the capacity, we just say every dollar counts. Whether it's low, whether it's high, it's what you can give and what you feel like giving. And there's no minimum that you have to raise. It's just everything goes to the good work that CCS as an organization does.